All right, everyone. Good evening. This is Ludwig from Luwep Trading, going by Coach Lud. Last week was a brutal week. We had our fourth straight losing week for the year so far, and things does not seem very good right now. So we have a lot going on. We're going to review exactly where the market is. At the same time, we're going to take a look at what may be moving the market going into this week. We're going to get into the chart because that's what we do here. We are technical analysts, so we're going to do a deep dive in the technicals to see exactly what's going on. But at the same time, I think the biggest thing that's going to move the market this week is going to be whatever decision that happens tomorrow. If you are not aware, we're gonna talk about that. This is relate to geopolitical issues. That's the war in the Middle East right now. And the next thing is going to be PCE data. So we have PCE data dropping on Friday, depending on how big that is. Or how hard it comes, we might push down or we might have a bit of a pop. All right, so before we get any further, I don't want to forget, I want to welcome you guys once again. Thank you for being here. And if you are here, remember to smash the like button for me. Drop me an emoji in the chat, anything, share this channel as we go into it. I do appreciate those of you guys who constantly do that and keep those lives very engaging. This is fire for me. All right, this is energy for me. When you guys are participating, you guys are commenting and then things like that. Empire Pass, I see you. Thank you for being here as usual. When you guys are actually engaging on the chat, in the chat live, that's something that's I wouldn't say motivation, but it is adding fuel to the fire that keeps that energy up for me. So, what exactly is going on? We have before we get into the chat, let's talk about what's going on in the world, right? So, Trump just gave you one as of yesterday, 48 hours, an ultimatum to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. As I've been telling you guys over the past couple of weeks, really, since this war started, this is something that if it does not get open, is going to be very, very, very tough for the entire global economy, right? Because if you restrict oil, that floats down into everything, and every country is going to get impacted. It doesn't matter which country it is. Either the oil producing countries are not going to get any revenue, and you're also going to have the ones who relies. Take a country like Japan, for example. Japan relies on 90% of their imports come from the Middle East. So right now, with the Strait of Hormuz closed, they were not getting anything. They were able to get something, but how exactly did they get it? Apparently, they decided to make a deal with Iran or Iran, if you want to pronounce it that way, directly. So they paid in Chinese yuan, so Chinese currency, not the dollar, and they also paid a $2 million fee for being an ally of the U.S. But they had no choice. They only had 3 days left of fuel, so they had to do something to make sure they get some fueling to keep their economy and their electrical grid going. Now, that 48 hours of ultimatum, just to complete that Trump gave Iran, it is they need to completely open the Strait of Hormuz. If not, the U.S. will obliterate. That's I think if I'm not mistaken, that's the word he used. They will obliterate the entire energy infrastructure. All right. Now, I'm not gonna going to get into if that's right or wrong to do. You guys can go look at that for yourselves. But what I need to let you guys know is if something like that happens, Iran fired back and says if their energy grid or any of their energy gets attacked, what they will do is just completely bomb every single site in the Middle East. So it's not just going to be them. So it will be countries like Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE. I'm not sure if they put Oman in there, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, all those countries. So not only that, they say they will take it a step further. They say they would also bomb any IT infrastructure. Now, Microsoft, Nvidia, and a bunch of U.S. companies do have not just offices, but data centers in those areas because it's cheaper to run them there, and the regulations are a lot less. And they also say they will attack desalinization plant. Now, if you are not aware of the Middle East, desalinization is how most of those countries get this. That is the only source of water. So take a country like the UAE, for example, relies on about 70 to 80% of the water, fresh water, like drinkable water, comes from salt water that is processed and turned into fresh water. So if they lose those plants, and they cannot build them overnight, if they lose those plants, you're talking about maybe mass casualty or mass immigration to Europe. So this is something that will cascade down, and everyone's going to get impacted. So this is what's going on. So again, that 48 hours that will expire tomorrow. So I'm pretty sure the market is on edge. Investors will be on edge. We're hoping that there's a way that Trump can back out of this thing. Because those guys say they're not going to open the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know if it's a game of chicken to see who blinks first, but either way, if no one blinks and we have all those attacks, guys, I'm letting you guys know it's going to get pretty bad. Is going to get bad. I want you guys to think back again for those of us who remember the 2008 crash when we had oil being so beginning of the Iraq War when we had oil spike to like I think it was around like $130 per barrel. How expensive it was to fill up your tank at this time. And again, if you look at right now, you might see you paying $4 or 4.50 or $5 per gallon at the pump. Get ready, something like that happen to start paying north of $8, $10, $12, because there's no way we don't have a way to replace that right now. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to give you guys real quick as far as letting you guys know what's going on around the world right now. So this is the biggest thing we have going on. With that being said, we are going to get right into the chart. And before I get into the chart, let me see. Okay. While I have you guys, James, I see you, man. I appreciate you being here every single time. Again, if you are here, you have not done so, please make sure to like, give me a thumbs up, and smash that like button for me. And by the way, I've had a few people now ask me. I still don't really know how to hype the live, but if you know how to do so, come on, hype me up. Let's see here. Let's get this thing ready, and we're going to get right on through. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. So let's take a look to see exactly what we did last week. All right. So last week, for the first time, this is the level I was telling you guys. For the first time last week, we actually closed below this other level. Now that's the cues, all right? That's the cues. We closed below that level. We found a minor support level. That's the weekly chart, by the way. Again, let me repeat, that is the weekly chart. We found this little bit of a minor level, but depending if we cannot reclaim this level right away, just get that bounce right away, get that bounce. If we lose this level, I believe this is where the chart is telling me this is where we're going to go. All right, this is what we're currently looking at of a bigger drop. Let's see exactly how big would that drop be. That would not drop us. I don't think this bit of a drop will put us in bear territory. That would just be in correction territory. Again, 10 to 20%. That's just correction territory. And anything up below above a 20% drop, that is bear market territory. So that means we have a long way to go. As of right now, this is at about 8%. This is just considered a pullback. That's just a pullback, not correction. Correction, we need at least 10%. All right. Now, um, let's see exactly how things went that day. I mean, we went over it. I think on Friday, I did a short video. I did a short live. On Friday. Typically, we don't do lives on Friday. That was done very, very early, around like 4:30. That's when that was done. We did a bit of a live just going over that, so you guys can see exactly what happened right here. And while I am talking to you guys, I just got triggered into something. I think I forgot to remove something. I just got triggered into something, guys. Let me just go take a quick look at that and see what's going on with this one. Okay. Uh, I had placed the trade, guys. I guess this is a good thing. You guys going to get to see this with me. Did I place that on the NQ? Okay, that was on the NQ actually. I placed this. So I had placed this trade and just left that. I finally got triggered. Since the live starts, I'm not going to stay in it, guys. I'm just gonna close that and just close that position out because I don't have time to stick around and take a look at it and actually manage that. But I can hear the trade triggered in my headset, so I just went on and just closed that out. That was a good entry I was actually waiting for, but since I'm not going to be able to manage that, that's why I got out of it. All right, let's just come right back to the cues. Going right in the 4 hour time frame with the cues. What I'm looking at is a possible. This is what I really want the cues to do tomorrow. I want to see a pop to this level, and if I do that, and I see that rejection candle, I need an aggressive rejection. I'm putting my shorts back on. I told you guys this past Friday that I took short position. I mean, I closed out all my short position. I have some minimal positions that just to, like things I don't mind losing really because that's just protection of for my portfolio. But my main shorts that I told you guys that I bought right at those levels, I'm already out. All right. Again, taking a look at the 4 hour time frame as of right now, it doesn't seem like we have. Let me see if we might get a bounce. Yeah, there you go. So now we have a downward trend line. What are we seeing again? This is why I always say make sure you keep updating your what? Your make sure you keep updating your trend line. Okay, this might look a little bit busy for you guys to see. So for now, let's see if I just take this out for now. There you go. This is still here. So right now, this is what we end up having right now. All right. So we have this. We may just go right there. We test this and push down. Right. So that's one move. Or not surprising if there's a solution that happened tomorrow and the Strait of Hormuz is open or Trump changed his mind about this whole destroying energy facilities and whatever, we might pop all the way up here. So we have to watch and see exactly how things going to go. But right now, unless we gap down, which right now it seems like we might, given all the dangers in the market right now, we got to make sure that we're paying attention on what's going on. 2 hour time frame. Let's check the 2 hour time frame real quick. Again, 2 hours showing us that we might do a bit of a pullback. How high is this pullback going to go? I don't know, but this is the level we're going to have to take. Again, in the queues, this is the level we have to take right there, 589. If we go above 589, I can see us squeezing all the way up to about 590.94. All right. If we can take if we can take 589, so this is what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. If we squeeze above 589, let me see. Cash Patel is letting UFC fighters train FBI agents. Yeah, that's that's one of those interesting things. I just find it interesting. I'll leave it at that. Um, yeah, I'm looking at that. So if we take, this is one level I will be paying attention to very, very closely. Crossing up. There you go. So if we cross above this level, above 589.57, if we cross that, this is where actually I have mine at 537, 589.37. If we cross above that level, this is what I'm looking to do. Possibly write this up all the way to here. And as soon as we get here, I just want to see that rejection right at the trend line, and I'm going short. All right. So tomorrow, this again, let me repeat that. Tomorrow, what I will be watching for tomorrow is a break above this level. If I do get that break, this will be a day trade, not a swing trade. This will be a day trade. One of those get in, get green, get out trade. All right. Going in, write this up. Not going to overstay my welcome. Making sure I have a trailing stop loss going up, so that way that can automatically kick me out. And then once I see a reversal right at this level, I will be out. Actually, I'm going to put. Let me make sure I put another alert right here. Boom. Right there. Now, because well, one of the reasons, if you're looking at the MACD right now, we are way overbought in the MACD. So at this level right here, to personally, I do not, based on technical analysis, I do not trade. I do not put on shorts when the MACD is already way down there. This is why when I told you guys I'm buying those, I'm putting my short positions on. I'm putting those positions on when the MACD is elevated. All right. The MACD is elevated, and we also at some sort of a trend line or resistance levels, things like that. Or I'm seeing um, a head and shoulder pattern. I'm seeing a bearish pattern, or I'm at a resistance line. This is when I'm putting my trades on. Now, if somebody decided maybe end of the day Friday they put on some short positions, or early in the morning they put on some short positions. That's what it might still work, but that does not meet my trading plan right here. Deep in negative territory, I do not take those short trades, because this is a very very high risk, low reward trade. Why? We at support level, and the MACD is already oversold. All right. That's why I don't take those trades. Because as I always tell you guys, what I do is probability trading. Right? I'm looking at the setup, and okay, I'm like, okay, what is the let me use the exact same phrasing I use with you guys all the time. What is the path of least resistance for the market? The path of least resistance is what? Because it's at support level, that means a push up. That would be the path of least resistance. Again, a lot of things can change, because that 48-hour ultimatum that just came into play, man, this is like throwing a wrench into the market, because no one knows, is that a bluff? Um, do we just transition to maybe regime change, maybe whatever it might be, taking out nuclear facilities, or nuclear capability, to now being an energy war? An energy, no one wins in an energy war scenario. Nobody wins. All right, not you, not me, not nobody. Well, beside the oil companies about to make a fortune, if that actually happens. But that's the way it is. So again, but if we break down, so if we actually gap down in this level right there, if we gap down because of all these things going on, this is what I'm going to be looking for. I will be looking for a test of this trend line, right? That would be a break and retest, and then I will be looking to ride this bad boy all the way on down to like 560. I will day trade it, but I will also right before the market close. I will probably put on some short position, as far as a short swing trade. So this is a very very interesting levels right here. I would have told anybody, hey, right there, this is a low risk, high reward trade for a bit of a rip. But with what just happened, with this ultimatum, that just threw a wrench into all of that. But again, this is why I keep telling you guys, do not open new positions going one way on Fridays, especially in this time. You never know what might be coming out of this administration. You just don't know. Therefore, we try to stay away. That's the best. The best we can do is stay away. You don't have to take every trade. You don't have to be in a trade. You can just sit on the sideline. Let the week start and just see where we are. Actually, let me just put an alert right here, because if we are crossing down, I want to make sure that I can see that as well. Checking the 30 minutes time frame. See, that's the thing. Look at the setup that was playing out in the 30 minutes right here, right? So remember, last time I was telling you guys, hey, what I'm seeing here, right here, is a head and shoulder pattern, and it was being done at resistance level. So I had no problem putting some shorts on and write this bad boy down, and that's exactly what I did. Now on Friday, I looked at it, I thought about it, but I just did not take that inverted head and shoulder to go up. Only reason I didn't do that, and you can see it, guys. This is a clear inverted head and shoulder pattern. Very, very clear. But the only reason I did not take that trade is because we were going into the weekend. And I don't open new positions like that on the weekend because you never know what might comes out. And a lot of bad news comes out over the weekend because they like to wait for the market to close and they dump some stuff on Friday night or early Saturday. But I'm like, you know what? And plus we have a war going on. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's why I didn't take it. But if somebody took it, I would understand, but at the same time, as I keep telling you guys, that does not fit my trading plan. It doesn't fit my process, right? It does not fit my process. Therefore, I stayed away. You guys know for a fact how much I love trading inverted head and shoulder pattern or head and shoulder pattern and bull flags and bear flags. I love trading those patterns, but I did not take that one. Again, this is why I keep on telling you guys every single time. Make sure you have a trading plan and follow your trading plan as tight, as close as you can because that will keep you out of a lot of stuff. Again, let's say hypothetically, we wake up tomorrow and the market is down. What exactly saved me from not taking a bad? It's not like it's a bad pattern. It's a great pattern. But what exactly saved me from not taking that trade? I have a process. My process dictates I do not take trade on Friday. I do not take trade on long weekends. I don't open new positions going one way. I don't do that, especially in these times. And I've been sharing that with you guys. And again, I could have taken the trade and then tomorrow say that happens, and then I get to cuss up somebody and say this person just cost me that and that person just cost me that. But reality is, it is my fault. It would have been my fault because I know not to take those trades. So I followed that. I stepped back. I saw it. I saw it. I didn't take it. And guess what? Right now, we don't know. I mean, it is pre-market, so we have no idea how things going to play out overnight. But as of right now, it looks like we might actually gap down once again. All right. Now, going right back into the charts. Once again, guys, if you are here and you haven't done so, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Feel free to ask any questions if you have any questions. I'm here to answer questions. I love answering questions. If you have any questions, if you have anything to share, I would love to get any information from you guys. Obviously, I don't know everything that's going on. Anything is welcome. Any engagement is actually welcome. Now let's go on let's take a look at the SPX. I told you guys I like looking at the SPX for one reason, right? Because the SPX is a lot cleaner than the SPY. I will go over the SPY as well because I know most of you guys trade the SPY and I want to talk about those levels in the SPY. Let me just close this. I like talking about those levels in the SPY. You guys remember since way up there, I told you guys, hey, this is distribution by those institutions. That's like a rounded top. This is how those guys got out, and they did. They got out and they dropped the market. That's what happens. Now, if you've been here with me, you cannot say you didn't know. If you got caught in this, you have to really take a pause and look at yourself in the mirror and say, it is, you know what? I take responsibility for that. You have to hold yourself accountable because when all of this was happening, I kept telling you guys, I am cautiously bullish, but what I'm seeing here, it seems like institutions are getting out. I mean, this was some that is something when they are doing what they call distribution. This is something that takes time for them to do. You typically see those doing like you'll see a consolidation period for a long time Why? Because those guys, they own billions worth of dollars of shares. Their positions are like worth billions. So they cannot just dump it in one day like we can just get out of positions. They cannot do that. So they mask it. They have those levels. They stay there. They know as long as they don't mess with the market, retail traders will bring it right back up to them. They sell some more. That's how they did it. We pretty much game this out the entire time. Now let's take a look at the weekly right now. See what's going on. Again, you guys can see we actually lost our. This is the S&P 500. That's the SPX. That is the SPX. And as you guys see here, for those of you guys who might be new here, when I was talking about process over profit, this is our motto in on this channel. Our motto is POP. All right. And POP is for process over profit, meaning you follow your process no matter what. You do not chase profit. If you look worrying for a trade, you miss the entry, wait for the next one. We don't follow it. We don't get on moving trains. All right, that is not what we do. We don't get on moving trains. So we wait. You follow the process. You follow the process, the profit will follow. But most importantly, your process is the main thing. So now we have closed below structural level, right? Now, where exactly is the possible, I would say possible next best level? All right? I'm targeting again, I've given you guys those levels right on this channel way before those moves happen. If you're looking at this, all this moving up, that again, that's on the weekly. I don't really see any strong support level. I mean, there are minor support level. You can say right here that's a bit of a minor support. You can also say here. So it's not impossible for us to, pop at these levels. It's not impossible. But let me make sure I do this way. But if we're talking about actual structural support, we're talking about all the way back here, which was the previous high that we had to break above. Now, can we count that as a possible retest and then making a new all-time high? It is possible, but right now we have a lot of headwinds right now, a lot of headwinds right now. Again, let's go on the daily time frame so we can see exactly what's going on. This is the daily. We actually closed below. And you guys can see what I was talking about. We have some minor support, but not structural support anytime soon. All right, let me take a look. I know we checked the Qs. Right now we at a 7% pullback. This level right there will be our official number. That would be our official um, not retracement. So that's a pullback. This will be our official correction. If we drop more than 10%, more than likely we might go to 11 and then bounce at this level. All right, it may happen. If not, if things really get dangerous, if things get really bad, we can expect like a 20% drop, and a 20% drop would put us where? Let me grab my tool. So a 20% drop would bring us all the way down to this level. Let me mark that. So that would be where a 20% drop would happen, like way down here. And what do you know? This this level here is a structural support level. This is why I love technical analysis, man. This is why I love this. Isn't it interesting how a 20% drop would coincide perfectly with this high, which was resistance, right? You can see we try to move up. Excuse me. Got pushed back down. We tried again, got pushed back down, tried again until we finally took it. Then once we go, used that support, went back down, came up, did an inverted head and shoulder pattern, and squeeze up. That's what we did. So we know this is structural level, and it is so interesting. This would really be exactly at our 20% 20% correction. All right. Going in the 4 hour time frame, guys. Let's check the 4 hour time frame. We don't have much in the. I don't like looking at this that much in the lower time frame, simply because it does not have the SPX does not have um, after hours. So that there's a lot you just don't see. Now, if I go in the SPY, let's go in the SPY, which is still the S&P 500, but it's a lot better. Now, we still have our trend line for the SPY. And where's our trend line? Right here. This is our blue trend line. I can remove all of those just to try to keep the chart a little cleaner so you guys can clearly see, because as of right now, we are not going to be using those. Here we go. So that's what's more important. So right now, what we are looking at right now, right here, guys, this is the 2 hour time frame. Actually, let's go on the daily first. You guys can see the daily would look exactly like the SPX, and this is when I was telling you guys about all those the institutions getting out. It, I'm glad I have those things still right on the chart, because you guys can see when I was telling you guys, hey, we have this trend line and we cannot take it. We definitely going to drop, so be careful. All right, going right in the 4 hour time frame. That's right on there. We gotta get this POP thing going. Going right in the 4 hour time frame. Seems like we're doing a bit of a bounce. That was after hours, right? So anytime you guys see those a gray, or depending on how you see color, I would say a bit of a light blue. Those would be represent after hours. We're trying to push up, but again, now we are at resistance level. So can we continue to push up? We shall see. This is the what the 2 hours look like. Again, if we cannot take that, this would just be used as a bear flag. As of right now, this is what we have. So this needs to push up. Again, this is the S&P 500. This is the SPY that most of you guys trade. So the SPY levels to watch. If we push above 655, excuse me, we might be able to push all the way to 662. All right. So why 662? Because this is where our resistance level is seated at. All right. Right up there. And if we push down, I mean, we might go straight down, because you can make the case that, hey, this used to be support level, right? That blue line. And what we did, we will break down and we retesting the level to go make the second leg. So that could be that. All right. So what level I would be watching for is 648. If we lose 648 tomorrow because we gap down and we lose 648 tomorrow, we might be in trouble. We might be in trouble. All right. Going in the 30 minutes, guys. The 30 minutes again. The 30 minutes is looking so. It was looking so great. I really had to restrain myself to not take something, because this is what I always talk about, right? So we're doing that. Look at that. That left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and with the what was great about this setup is the fact that the right shoulder was being made higher. It was a higher right shoulder, right? A higher right shoulder typically means that's very, very bullish. But with what's going on right now, can we actually push up? I don't know. I have no idea if we can do it. And one thing I want to add to that is an additional trend line right here. Okay? Now, this will be my 30 minutes trend line guide, right? This would be my 30-minute trend line guide. I take it from this high, rejected here, and seems like it's being rejected here. Now, if that actually gets rejected, this is what I want to see. A push down, a retest, then I want to take that. That's what I want to take. All right. Or you could just do something like this. It does this, push down, do that, then it could go. Because then at that point, if this happened, what exactly we're going to have? We're going to have a head and shoulder pattern with a lower high. All right. So this is how you guys you we watch the moves and wait and see exactly what's going to happen. That's on the that would be in the 30 minutes. All right. We have time warning on us right now, so we gotta make sure we take a look at Bitcoin. I told you again, guys. Maybe I'm patting myself in the back here a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest. Tell you guys, I told you guys, do not believe all these guru telling you Bitcoin was wanting to 100,000 or 85,000 and so on. That breakout was never confirmed. That breakout just never confirmed. It was a false breakout, and as a matter of fact, this is the dangerous. This is the danger right now. This is looking to make a bearish divergence right here and going right back into negative territory. If this happens, we can see Bitcoin making a new low. Because as of right now, this is still being used as what? Since you guys have been here with me, again, I'm not trying to scare you guys, right? I'm not trying. I'm giving you guys exactly how it is. We're just looking at probabilities, and I'm reading the charts to you guys. I understand a lot of us do hold cryptocurrency. A lot of us had high hopes for cryptocurrency. A lot of us thought this administration was going to be pro cryptocurrency. I mean, you can say, hey, all of that is things that was those were miscalculation. Because as of right now, this is just setting up. You could say a bear flag. This is nothing but a bear flag as of right now. That's all I'm seeing. All right. Now let's find a little bit of a trend line to see if that can hold. So what I'm going to do is connect this low with that low. So we're not dead yet, but if we lose this level, if we lose this trend line, then at that point we might be in trouble. Now the part I don't like, this is the part I don't like. I'm gonna be frank with you guys. We have this, that could be a left shoulder. This is higher, so that could be considered a head. And now we're doing that. Are we going to form a right shoulder for a move down? We shall wait and see. All right. Now, more importantly, I want to take a look at the VIX. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like the setups was great, and if you took that setup, I cannot blame you for it because it was a great setup. The VIX pop up above 11% on Friday, and when the VIX pop above 10%, we have an 85% probability of a reversal trade. And it seems like if you look at after hours on Friday, it looks like we were about to win. And I think what's killing that momentum right now is that ultimatum, that 48-hour ultimatum. This is a big a cloud hanging over the market because if you actually look at the VIX was getting prepared to actually do a pullback. Look at this rejection right there. That was the rejection. All right. Going in the 4 hour time frame, you guys can see that even clearer now. What this is what the VIX was doing as of right now. The VIX was about to do a double top to push down, but I do think that post that post changed that calculation. Is it just some sort of manipulation post? I don't know. We shall see. We're going to see how things go. Go on the 2 hour time frame again. This is how we look. All of that is now null and void. And this is why I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to sound like a broken clock. This is why we avoid, completely avoid taking trades going into the weekend. And this is why I told you guys, hey, if we popped Friday morning, we're going to drop. That was Friday, Thursday night. I told you guys that. We're going to fade, completely fade during at the close on Friday. One, it was expiration, right? And two, a lot of people don't want to hold things over the weekend. It's too much time. Too much can happen, right? Too much time and too much can happen. And this is exactly what happened. Now, you look at the 30-minute time frame again, the 30 minutes showed us we were about to drop, man. This was a good setup for a drop. But as of right now, we'll see how things go overnight. If that fix itself, again, we might still pop. As of right now, we're still negative in the overnight market. We might still pop, but I think if we green during the day, unless we have different news that came out with different things, and whatever, I think we're going to fade going into the close because I believe that ultimatum will expire after market close. So I think a lot of people are going to be like, I don't wanna be in this. All right. Anyway, guys, this is all I have for you guys as far as the technical analysis. I know it's getting late, guys. For those of you guys that's part of the community chat, I will be on Teams right after, but I want to just say a couple of things to you guys that are here. All right. Let me just make sure I check my the chat. Okay, I don't have anything here in the chat. This is the one thing I need you guys to do for me. All right. As you trade and you do anything, I need you guys to really ask yourself why do you want to do this? Why do you want to trade? Why do you want to trade futures? Really hone in on why, because when you find out exactly why your why is, when you find out what that is, and if it means enough to you, it will stop you from constantly violating your rules, violating your trading plan, because it's a reminder every single time you violate that trading plan. This is you telling yourself that reason you're doing this is not as important to you. Whatever that reason is, it's not as important. If you're willing to violate that, I mean, that means your reason is not as important to you. If you're not really giving this your all, if you're just trading on the side, you say, hey, if I make a little money here, that's okay. If I don't, that's okay. But it's just a hobby. It's something for me. That's different. That is completely different. Some people do that. Hey, more power to you guys. But I know a lot of you guys, especially if you are here watching me on a Sunday night at nearly 10 p.m. That means you are serious about your trading. And I would challenge you guys to really sit down, write it down. Why do you want to be a trader? Why do you want to do this? And then when you find that reason, I want you to put that somewhere that you can see that every single day, to keep reminding yourself the reason you are doing this. Because if you really have a reason that you really focus on, for example, let's say you want to do this because, I don't know, you want to make sure that your kids have a better life than you did, right? You want to take your kids on vacation every 3 months or whatever. If that's your why, that is your why. Just remember, every single time you violate your trading rules, what you're saying is you taking your kid to a vacation every 2 months is not that important to you. Like, hey, if he goes, he goes. If he doesn't go, he doesn't go. All right, so that's what it is. I need you guys to be prepared. I need you guys to focus. I need you guys to stick with it. Again, it doesn't matter what's going on. If you were red all week this past week or whatever's going on, this is a fresh week. This is a new week. The one thing I hope that you did is review your trade to see what went wrong. All right. Again, that's if you just not investing. If you're investing, yeah, it's bad. All you have to do is hold, because you're going to hold these things for 10, 20 years and whatever. So those pullbacks don't matter to you. But if you're just taking swing trades or you day trading and whatever, I really hope you took some time over the weekend at some point to review those trades and see what you did wrong and what you can do to improve. Again, guys, I want to commend you guys for still trading, for being here. Again, if you survived last week, this is a brand new week. Congratulations. Hey, stop feeling down. Whatever happens already happens. We have a new week. Every single day, every single week is an opportunity to get better, to be better, to advance, and do greater things. I want you guys to approach the week that way, approach tomorrow that way, approach the next month that way. Just like, hey, I have this goal. This is my why, and every single day that I come in this market is for me to get closer to that. Right? One of the greatest thing I heard someone say is, say, let's say you have your why. Let's say you play basketball. Okay, let's say you play basketball and um, you go play a game. You know you need to perform. Right now it's March Madness. For those of you guys in the US, it's March Madness. March Madness is our college basketball tournament for all the schools that perform the best throughout the year. So let's say you want to get drafted in the NBA and you go into a game and somebody's stopping you from scoring. They're not just stopping you. If your goal was you want to get drafted so you can take your mom out of the hood, or you want to retire your mother, that person is not just stopping you from scoring. I want you guys to look at it as that person is stopping you from giving your mother a better life. That person's in your way. So you gotta figure it out. You gotta show up prepared. You gotta show up to give it all you got. Look at the market the exact same way. The market is the exact same way. Whatever your goal is, when you show up, again, I know there's manipulation candles. I know these things happen. But it is your job when you show up to trade to don't get trapped in those things. Because while you complaining that you got that hey, they got you this time, you wanna sit here and just complain about it. There's somebody else who didn't get caught in it. Why couldn't you be that person that didn't get caught? I've gotten caught in those things. I the only difference, I don't dwell on them too much. I may say, hey, you know what? They got me. That's it. But this is what happens when you have manageable stop losses, because my plan say I should have manageable stop losses. So as long as I have manageable stop losses, that happens. I say, hey, you know what? They got me. All right, that's messed up, and then I move on with my life. But if you don't have a stop loss, or you're just doing the hope and pray situation. Some people just double down. It goes down. Let me just buy some more. I've made that mistakes, guys, and sometimes it's going to work, and sometimes that's the thing that's going to kill you. All right. Anyway, guys, well, take care. I appreciate you guys being here and sticking through it and whatever. If you haven't done so, make sure to give me a thumbs up, give me a like, drop me some fire emoji here. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for spending your part of your well, I'll say Thursday. Golly, nah, I don't want Thursday yet. Your Sunday night with me. I wish you guys the best. Once again, I want to remind you guys it is POP day. Every day is POP day. Follow your process. It's process over profit. Follow your process. You follow the profit will follow. And more importantly, tomorrow we still on this exact same trading part of the trading plan. It's get in, get green, get out. Don't get too greedy. Don't get too overconfident. It is get in, get green, and get out. I appreciate you guys being here. I will see you guys in the live tomorrow.